You're just not listening. Have you ever been told that before? Or have you ever thought that about anyone you're trying to communicate with? We may well hear what people say, but are we really listening effectively enough to understand what they mean? NLP Meta Model, also known as the Overmodel, is our key to specificity because it's designed to support us in getting to a level of understanding that's required for effective and influential communication. Now, this video is the first of 4 in the Metamodel series and gives a comprehensive overview to what Metamodel is, where it came from, and the benefits it can deliver for you. So make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to get access to the next video in this series as soon as it's published. So what is Metamodel? Well, it's a core linguistic skill set that we train in our NLP Advanced Linguistic Influencing program. In my mind, it's one of the first and most vitally important skill sets that really must be mastered if you want to get predictable and consistent with the results you can create from coaching, therapy, or influencing. Now, the origins of Metamodel, as we understand it today, was developed in the early 1970s by Richard Bandler, a student of mathematics and computer sciences, who earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy and psychology in 1973 and a Master of Arts degree in psychology in 1975. And his soon-to-be partner, John Grinder, who was a linguistics professor at the University of California in Santa Cruz. And he had a PhD in linguistics, having completed his dissertation on deletion phenomena in English, which was published in 1976. Bandler, who it's reported around this time of the early 1970s, got a bit frustrated with what he perceived to be a lack of depth and relevance in the psychology case studies and material he had to study. This drove for him a need for change, which led him to the work of Fritz Perls, who was the creator of Gestalt therapy. Bandler quickly realized that he could model the what and how of the work Perls was doing and could apply it in a way that replicated the results of this expert for himself. He began to give seminars on Gestalt therapy to other students, and at some point, John Grinder became aware of the work Bandler was doing and was fascinated in it from a linguistics perspective. Bandler, with his psychotherapy background, and Grinder, with his linguistics knowledge, made for a very powerful partnership. After joining forces, they became influenced by and started modeling the work of successful therapists, especially Virginia Satir, who was a well-respected and revered family therapist, known especially for her transformational results that she consistently delivered when working through dysfunctional relationship dynamics within families. Based on their studies of the transcripts of Satir's therapeutic sessions, they wrote the books The Structure of Magic Volume 1, published in 1975, followed by The Structure of Magic Volume 2. In drilling down on the what and the how of the work Virginia Satir did to facilitate these transformative results that she was delivering for her clients, it became clear that there was an importance around the specificity of language used within communication. Now, once codified and distilled down to its core essentials, we were then gifted NLP's Metamodel. After this discovery, Bandler and Grinder went on to study Milton H. Erickson, who was a medical doctor and a renowned hypnotherapist, whose artfully vague use of language patterns inspired what was to become NLP's Milton model. This is our core influencing model and an equally powerful counterpart to Metamodel. Think in terms of Metamodel as for listening and Milton model is for speaking. Now, we will be covering Milton Model in great detail on this channel in the future, so do like and subscribe to ensure that you get the benefits of both worlds. Metamodel, which this video is all about, was also heavily influenced by the work on transformational grammar by Noam Chomsky, which was mostly around the concepts of surface structure to deep structure of language. Surface structure being very much what people choose to say, their words and the structure of their sentences, whilst the deep structure is more the representation of what those words actually mean and their chosen flavor of reality. What we know is that people predominantly speak unconsciously using vague surface structure language that deletes, distorts, and generalizes around a perceived deeper meaning. Their language structure will be flawed and will, if you're trained, give you insights as to what is probably really going on for them. Some of which they will be suppressing on purpose, and some of which they will have absolutely no conscious awareness of at all. Yet it will still very much be negatively influencing their choices. Metamodel is our key to clarity and provides a way to recognize and drill down on surface structure language to a far more relevant deep structure meaning. Its core purpose is to deliver improved clarity of all important communication. It's specifically designed to help you to first notice and then challenge imprecise language. The questions you'll be trained to ask will uncover the deeper meaning behind the structure of what is being said. Now, there are 12 powerful language patterns within Metamodel, along with the who, what, and how questions it trains you to ask. These questions will stimulate a flow of information that will identify and effectively deal with vague or distorted language, which of course helps to clarify true meaning by recovering missing, distorted, generalized, or deleted detail. It gives insight for both you and the other person into the root of underlying negative emotional associations, limitations, and dysfunctional, ineffective, and unsupportive values, strategies, and behaviors. It's a powerful tool that should be used for all communication, whether you're a parent, a friend, a manager, coach, therapist, or any other person interested in effective influencing or personal development. It's very much required if you want to help promote positive change or enhance rapport and stimulate improved thinking. This was the powerful skill set that was used by one of the very best family therapists. And it's only 12 language patterns that could now easily be known to you. So what is Metamodel and how will you begin to learn it and utilize it for influence? First, we must accept and understand to make sense of reality and to ensure that we're not overwhelmed by a limitless deluge of raw data. The human neurology has been designed to delete superfluous data that is deemed in any given context to be unnecessary, distort data to fit with focus and belief, to essentially find within the data what we have predetermined already exists, and finally to generalize data to best fit with our own pre-programmed familiar patterns. What do you expect to see, and what do we believe it means? This process is a necessity so that our neurological supercomputer can manage to categorize chunks of data in nanoseconds so as to bring a working order that makes this chaotic, overwhelming process of experiencing reality more systemized, streamlined, and manageable. Metamodel has codified a set of linguistic principles that, when present in communication, helps us to recognize the woeful lack of specificity and meaning in any given context that is simply not helpful. A perceived negative experience can only continue to exist because of a lack of accurate detail that should be present. If we want it to be any different, then that detail is key to unlocking a change. This surface structure language, which is usually what people accept and respond to, very rarely has any true or even useful specificity to it, and will be a very vague, ambiguous representation of what is really being communicated. When someone attempts to put into words a problem, their emotional stimulation, need, or unfulfilled desire will play a massive part in the initial language that they unconsciously choose to use. That surface structure language will be driven by skewed beliefs and emotional associated limitations. Now, to be influential and persuasive, you first must know the true starting point, a clearly defined sensory representation of what is really being communicated. Within Metamodel, we're looking to be training your ear and your neurology to instantly spot what necessary information has been deleted or left out, what has been distorted to best fit and validate the emotional response, and what is being grossly generalized to make it all seem bigger than Texas. Metamodel has the power to make you a forensic investigator of language and communication, capable of masterfully drilling down through language to the true meaning that is driving this external representation of a perceived reality. Now, the good news is there are only three core categories to Metamodel. What you'll be hearing will either be a distortion, a generalization, a deletion, or often a mixture of all three. Each of these categories has their own distinct language patterns associated with them. Metamodel teaches you the easy who, what, or how questions you'll want to be asking so as to drill down to the required level of detail that will help influence or facilitate a positive change of perspective. With distortions, people distort linguistically their realities to best fit with and validate an emotional connection to a person, experience, or situation that they believe to be true. Your unconscious mind will not allow you to be wrong. If you believe it to be true, you must then project it into your reality and give your perceptions a tangible form in the physical with your language, thus compounding and maintaining the problem. There are 5 language patterns that are classified as distortions, and they are mind reads, lost performatives, cause and effect violations, complex equivalencies, and all presuppositions. Now, a quick note here, there is a 10-part video series on NLP presuppositions that I've already created. If you've not watched them yet, I'll put a link to video 1 in the description below. Next, we have generalisations. This is how we can make things seem bigger than Texas, whilst also creating generalized rules that are not actually real, but very much limit our choices. Generalizations help to validate how people feel, and if they feel really, really bad, then they must find a way to make the world realize just how bad it truly is. They take the one thing and they make it everything, whilst creating negative focus around a feeling of necessity, which of course completely limits their choices. They will only be able to perceive of a bad choice or a really bad choice. Whilst anything that may contradict this, they then will have to language that option as being impossible. Now, not exactly a winning combination. Under generalizations, we have 2 language patterns, universal quantifiers and model operators. Finally, we have deletions. To maintain a problem or negative limitation, a person must leave out of their reality, simply delete, anything that could possibly contradict the structure that is required to prove their negative that they're claiming to be true. When a person is determined to be miserable, they must delete from their sensory awareness any evidence that suggests that their life has any joy in it. Now, for deletions, we have 5 language patterns. That's normalizations, unspecified verbs, lack of referential index, simple deletions, and comparative deletions. There are 3 broad benefits that you can certainly enjoy if you choose to learn more about NLP's Meta Model. First, there is the coaching and therapeutic benefit. Mastering Metamodel helps to uncover limiting beliefs, negative emotional associations, and drivers as well as internal conflicts that a person may well be suffering from unconsciously. By listening to the structure of the language and the words that they're unconsciously choosing to use, allows you to ask the perfect question at the perfect time so as to unlock a flow of much needed information that will loosen their old model of the world, break the negative cycle, and create the required positive insights that can support ongoing positive change. Second, you'll have much improved and more effective communication, which can only be a good thing. Being able to not only hear, but recognize the importance of NLP Metamodel language patterns will give you the advanced set of listening skills that can ensure you get the right level of specificity in all communication. Metamodel language skills gives you the control to interact and communicate with clarity, a depth of interpersonal connection, making every interaction more satisfying and more effective. And thirdly, Metamodel delivers the power to influence positive cognitive change. Using NLP Metamodel listening and questioning skills stimulates a valuable flow of actionable information. It encourages insights that would have more than likely remained out of conscious awareness. And it's far easier to move beyond a problem and gain resolution if you know what the problem actually is and what experiences are contributing to it. Metamodal questions promotes better self-awareness and encourages a positive, powerful re-evaluation of internal thought patterns by challenging careless assumptions and unspoken entrenched negative belief patterns. NLP Metamodel is the golden key to understanding. Our next video is going to be training you in detail the 5 language patterns that make up all of Metamodel distortions. So do like and subscribe if you want to develop control and command over your communication skills for influence, as we do continue to learn, evolve, and create positive change together.